Question, Serge.
That didn't feel convincing for me.
I think that's the worst one I've done.
I think because none of us care.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why I
But
accidentally sat on my ball earlier on and I was very tentative to drop?
We've all
Singular
learned a
ball.
little
Yeah.
more about Alex.
Yeah.
Why he always
I
walks
squished-
in circles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You sort of-
I got back on a line bike at this angle and it was a very painful scenario.
So you lost a testicle because of that?
No, I didn't lose it, but I did nearly throw up.
I was.
I literally, it's strange how that can happen from that sensation. Sorry, we're not going to talk about that.
I mean, if you talk about it, it's the noise that triggers me.
Yeah, so we won't
Yeah.
be on.
Talking about it's usually fine. There's a noise.
It gave me nausea. There you go.
No, we
There,
didn't.
that's fine.
Absolutely.
You know what didn't give me nausea?
This episode.
I mean, that, every now and then, that kind of lets you know why you are the brains behind one of the YouTube channels on YouTube.
Which YouTube channel is that?
What YouTube channel is that?
Natural Six.
Natural 6.
My alternative life.
You're allowed to talk about your other work.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, what's the
Don't really
point?
want to.
What's the fucking point, La?
Can I just say,
Oh, this is good.
This-
Why? Doug can do other voices.
That was no. See now. See now.
Wow,
That's borderline jest me.
look,
No, it's
I'll
not.
have you know.
Oh my god.
Wait, listen to it.
Because
Go
bear in
on.
mind, he took the piss out of. He said I have too many Scottish dwarves,
he did.
and I am playing literally everyone else in the world.
Can I say something? Because this is a great opportunity. Because casting directors will be watching.
Yeah, they will be definitely.
Yeah,
Do the voice.
Okay, do
Do what voice?
the voice you were going to do. The voice you were doing.
Oh, I just change it up then. Hey, look, this. I just want to say, look, I think these sock puppets are great, and you know what? Holly made them.
It's the I like that. I like that in it. Holly made it.
Holly.
Which is
Yeah.
your favorite? Which was your favorite to make?
Oh, it was when I put the little horns on Dolly. I was like, Dolly's perfect.
I think the one that is the two that are instantly recognisable are Kelness and are Iron Radiant.
Eyes.
Yeah. Radiant's even got little.
I like Radiant Scars. I think Radiant Scars are the most I like anything about any of them. But I think the one that is the
I
most
didn't see the scars.
the one that is the most
Oh, that's great.
immediately recognisable is Eyes.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I already looks like a
Sock, but he does. He is the
Yeah,
most
like
sock.
you are the most sock-like of everybody.
Hell's Snipe looks really good though.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very dragony.
That's
is
because
very-
of how I'm holding my hand.
Wow, it's
Wow.
the
It's a
puppeteer.
puppeteer.
It's a
Yeah.
You put
puppeteer,
eyes
not
on
the
anything,
puppet.
and it's got so much expression.
Yeah.
Speaking
Right, we
of
need
which,
to-
I'm so glad we
put
did
eyes
that.
on this episode and had a
We
lot of
sure
expression.
did.
Yeah,
A lot of expression.
I said as we sat down, because today is a Saturday and we are recording again tomorrow. We haven't done a full weekend for a little while, actually.
No.
With the last few times we've been doing sort of single days. I think maybe the last 3 recordings we've done have been single days. And so it's kind of novel almost to be going, oh yeah, and we have to be able to play the next session as well. And I said, oh, it's an interesting one, this, because I very much know, I think kind of where you guys are heading and, what's kind of in the broadest strokes, what's there for you. But I don't know how much of this you're going to get through. And I said, I think, you might get through everything.
Got through
How
none
much
of
did you get through?
You
None
did
of it.
not. I would say you got through a quarter of it.
Really?
So yin and yang. We were
I had
either
a
gonna-
feeling that was going to happen.
We were either going to
Yeah.
mainline the whole
I-
thing
I-
or do what
'cause-
we've done.
and
There's
it-
going to be no halfway.
And because I think there was this is the first time in my head you've actively chosen to leave somewhere without all the loose threads tied up. In Barun, your business in Barun was done. You had killed Medea. There's nothing to be done for Casper and for Goff and for Juno. Prayers up for for them. You had dealings with Trusk. You had saved Rashid. You had been there for the death of Graunoth. You had nothing to tie up. Same with Mouse. Same with the Sanctum, really. I mean, it's not like you could have decided to have fought your way back down through the the tower to sort of.
Someone almost did.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But this is the first time. So I have a load of stuff which originally I had written as, I think I have little sections in my Google Doc, and it was called The World Above Ground, which was the Gloam camp and what had happened there above ground. And then at the beginning of this episode, I changed it to Gloam Nonsense and kept everything because I was like, they won't. They're not gonna. And true enough, you didn't. You didn't. And I
We
think
had, though.
you would. Well,
Would you have had to pull up all that stuff again?
it's right here.
Yeah.
I know everything you didn't do. I know everything you didn't find out. I know everything you didn't experience. Godlike.
Don't say it so quick and so assuredly. Yeah, godlike.
Yeah, godlike. Well, in this, I am the only deity that exists because I'm the prime mover, baby. You know? What made God? Me in this
When
context.
you just talk about it in yourself in the same way outside of this context. I mean, that's what the problem, really. Yeah.
Anyone else got to say anything? But yeah, so you wanted to get moving.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I think we all agreed that. We were like, we really, really want to be in a new place for
Yeah.
this episode.
I think it's also fun as well to leave some things unresolved in a way that could later affect the world, or we return to a place or see something, you come back and you see the consequences. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not just like, right, and that's the end of that. It's
Set up so rigidly that you know exactly how it'll be.
Like,
That
who knows?
is-
We could come back this way or go elsewhere in the world and find out that the Children of the Midnight Moon and the kobolds are fucking thriving together. Or we could find out that it's all gone fucking wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's nice to leave something in a way that...
The same happened in Maroon, and I said we like tied loose ends. No, we didn't. We found out that they end up going to war. So
Yeah.
like worlds exist as soon as we leave them. It's just we
Yeah.
don't experience it. But I think it's quite nice to know that you can do some stuff, but ultimately you can't hold back the tide
We
of.
can't assure, like, we don't know what's going to happen as soon as we leave, and we can't control what's going to happen when we leave, so we may as well keep moving.
Like life.
I just really liked how far we travelled, what we talked about. I feel like there was some much needed discussion, and whether actually we covered it or not, we kind of maybe got where emotionally all of them are at this point in their journey, which was nice. I just felt like I really appreciated and we're on the move. I'm like, great, we haven't done one of those in a while, because I personally, as a player, felt deliberately claustrophobic by those things, you know. The caves are inherently claustrophobic, and it was felt like that moment at the end of the last episode where we kind of breathed for air. We were all like, we're not going back. That feels great.
You can almost feel the winter air, like the
Yeah.
coldness of it, and like just how freeing that was.
Yeah.
Like,
And
for
also
everyone.
how insular we'd been as characters to almost kind of see the repercussions of the outside world was quite nice as well. Just how we were so internally dealing with whatever it is that we were dealing with, which also had repercussions for the rest of the world, that actually seeing now as we travel over a distance, we're seeing other people's reactions to the gloam. We're seeing, we're going to get more kind of, I don't know, the socio-economic impacts of the things that we're dealing with. It's going to be fun to
I think
see.
it's quite nice, I think, what we have, when you have the really big story moments, that's what we're kind of following. Then you see how our characters react to those big beats. This is kind of how they would interact with each other when you just leave them alone.
Yeah.
When there is nothing pressing and they're just traveling, this is how they would actually talk to each other in that kind of spare time. And almost we have had for a while these real high moments where tensions are running high or something big is happening. So, it's dramatic and you're trying to have a rousing speech or you're trying to really affect something. Now they've got 4 or 5 days of just dicking around on the road. You can't get there any quicker.
Not very
Yeah.
used to it,
So
yeah.
there's not that need to be having such meaningful and it's really going to affect the world. No, they're just kind of shooting the shit right now until
Yeah.
they can get where they need to be.
It's sort of an opportunity, I think, for you guys to do exactly what you did, which is sort of not feel like, look, we're in some caves, we're climbing a mountain, I'm trying to think where else you've been, you've done a lot of caves, actually.
Forests
Like
and
in forests on your way to kind of a deeply dangerous situation. It's more, where you're like, we've got to have this conversation, but on the one hand, as characters, we don't know how much time we've got. And on the other hand, as players, we're aware that there's like a big story point that we've started and that we're driving towards the conclusion of. And therefore, I think there can be a natural reticence for people to really explore interpersonal relationships because there's a feeling of wanting to keep progressing the story. And I hate fast travel, as I think I've said before. To me, the verisimilitude of it all kind of disappears if I just go, okay, so 4 days, and you're on the road for 4 days, and then I as a kind of a watcher or a listener to shows like this need there to be something that kind of marks that time. And so introducing things like glow masks on trees,
which is really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Again, it was nice to be reminded that maybe the whole world isn't always against us. Because again,
Yes.
that makes you feel claustrophobic when you maybe can't go somewhere and explore and try and do things like we're being hunted.
Yeah.
So just that little hint that maybe not everyone fucking hates us
Yeah.
helps you relax a little bit as you move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gives you a chance to have a conversation with each other and not feel like you got to wrap everything up and tie it up neatly because you know you've got a few days of like moving through. And obviously you might be in a slightly different situation now with the kind of cliffhanger of sorts that we've ended on.
Because last time you found an archer in the forest, that went
real
well for you.
For me, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was the
that's
first time any of us were dying.
Twice,
yeah,
by the
of
way,
course,
girl.
Yeah.
Oops. And Kel. Is that the only time you've ever gone down?
No,
No,
I've been
Kel's
down.
been.
I've been down several times.
Kel, I think Kel,
You.
you went down during the
The fight with
the
them.
fight with
Moloch.
with
Oh,
Moloch
you did,
because you
yeah.
got it was
I
when
got
you
res.
used the gift.
I got res, you got
Yeah,
res
you
by
used
eye.
your gifty gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rizzed.
I've been down a lot. I went down with what's his name? The guy with the
Down with
whip.
sickness.
Did you go down?
Iago.
Yeah, I went down. I went
You went down on Iago.
You went down on
Who'd you else go down on?
You went down on Iago, you went down on Moloch, you went down in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went down the forest. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
that was that was
Adventurous.
It's just arrows and forest
you could
go
say
well
I got
with
wood.
Dolly.
Yes.
Very good.
Very well done. I'm glad we did say it. Well, how? Yeah, I mean, from your point of view, I mean, obviously, I kind of know what I've got, but from your point of view, does it feel like you have a bit more space to?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Just been nice to, just like stretch a bit, right? Like, it's been isolated still, but like nice to feel like you have time to dick about, you
Yeah.
know, stab magical items or...
Wild, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Just as an
Yeah.
immediate, like,
Wild.
hey, dude, boom. Like, and then not be like, I need your help, but to stab it, then go, so I need your help with this.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was not the order I thought that was going
It's
to
like
happen.
taking a beautiful piece of material and just cutting in the middle first before you cut the pattern. That,
Yeah.
Like, why did you go straight through the middle of it?
Chaos.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Because then you can't undo it. It's like, well, we're in it now, so...
Yeah. Oh my God, I felt weird when you were talking
It
about
did
like,
feel
the-
like killing an animal.
Yeah.
Like skinning an animal.
and then just
yeah.
go like, who or what was this skin from?
Either waiting to
What's
happen.
the like? Yeah.
I thought you were just going to take the raven's skull ornament off the front of it.
No.
No, take the
didn't even
skin
think of
off.
that. It's just
Yeah, I
like,
didn't
yeah.
think of that. Just thought I'd take the skin, wouldn't I?
But no, it's fun. I mean, I think, we haven't really handled things like attunement. So for people who are like uninitiated, the attunement is a thing that you have to do with kind of magical items where essentially you spend
Sending
a period of time in sort of examining it and attuning with it. And I think often there's no role associated with it. You just need to say, I want to spend this short rest or this long rest attuning with this thing. I think there are often more interesting narrative ways.
Cover it in the D&D movie, the most
They
recent
do.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. The helmet. The helm.
Not seen it. But I think there are more interesting ways of handling attunement, and I just sort of quite like the idea that there are sort of various checks, and I think there was a charisma save that I had you do in this.
There was a sleight of hand to take the skin off, then there was a charisma save, and there was another sleight of hand.
Yes, to bind it.
Yeah.
To see,
What was
to
the
see how
5? Didn't you roll the 5 on something?
you.
That was the
No,
no.
No, the
you
charisma
rolled
save
high on the
passed,
charisma
yeah.
save. So essentially, behind the street, that's the attunement.
Yeah.
That means in theory,
Flying colours.
in theory, it will respond to you almost like a kind of animal handling check on a magic item. Because I just think it's more interesting than going, okay, sit down, have a look at it,
Yeah.
got it. Because at that point you go, well, I don't really know what the point of it is, other than you can't attune to multiple
Things at a
things at the same time.
Yeah, it's like
So that's
Really
why it's
wise.
almost it's like concentration on spell.
Or so that someone else can't just take it and use it immediately.
Yes,
Like
yes.
you can't pass it around the group or whatever.
Yeah, that's very true, because often they are like character specific,
Yeah.
or at least
It
they'll be used in character specific ways.
It's weird how over time, like when you went to cut into it, and I'm there, I'm like the me, not the character.
Yeah.
I have no real fine knife, skills or whatever. But yet still, when you're sat there, I'm going, butchering it should be me, man. You know what I mean? You just inherently, you just start to take that on.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Especially when you give life to something as well. It felt like it was genuinely alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was
felt
screaming.
felt a little bit bad for it, but I was like, well, I've started now, so.
You or me, honey? I've already stabbed it through the middle. May as well
Yeah.
carry on. It's not
But-
it's not drumming anymore, is
I
it?
don't want to drum. I just don't want to drum.
Stupid ugly drums.
Stupid ugly drums.
It's like literally like someone has handed you something and you've gone, thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Like
yeah.
it's so rude in hindsight. Well, I like, have you got the receipt?
But I like I kind of felt like that because it was like, yeah, I get that it's powerful and that's great, but like she just wouldn't use a drum, so.
It's not even just that. It's like, oh, thanks.
An avocado.
Avocado.
I just think it's interesting because it's like, okay, I want this power, but I don't want what it's contained
No,
in.
this shitty gift.
Yeah, so like it's because essentially spellcasting focus, right? Like that is the thing that it is that we're talking about when we say it feels wrong. Like you're using someone else's thing. So it's like, well, how can I repurpose this to use it for me? And that was the.
Yeah, you had to do that.
What does it give you?
It's a +1 to all, barred spells, essentially. So none of her spells are attack rolls, but saving, it would be an add to your spell save DC.
Adds to your spell save DC. Essentially, it functions like a +1 to charisma for the purposes of spellcast.
Which is really good. And then once a day, it can be a +2.
Yes.
Whoa,
That's cool.
Yeah.
that's super powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I wanted
is.
it.
You know, it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
proper, it's like
So
a proper
like-
magic item.
Yeah.
Because also you can nominate in the same way that you can nominate your that sort of divine. It's not. I'm not calling it channel divinity because that's like a paladin ability, and I don't want to.
I've called it divine gift.
Yeah, like divine gift is perfect. So like this thing that you've got from themselves, where you can before a roll be like, hey, I want to add my divine gift to this. Flip your coin, see what you get. In the same way, like you can't retrospectively go, oh, actually, can I put a +2 on that? You know, you have to kind of.
I was going to ask you about this today, actually.
Yeah.
With that, if you choose to do the damage thing instead of the bonus to attack, because you can pick, right? Mm-hmm. You've got two options. You can either state before an attack that you want to flip the coin and use this ability and get a bonus to attack, or you can state that you want a bonus to damage.
Yeah, so it can increase
So-
your plus to hit with spell attacks or increase your spell save DC.
Yeah.
Or you can do more damage with a weapon.
Yeah. So do you have to state the damage thing before the attack, or can you wait until you know you have a successful attack?
No.
So it's a damage roll, right? It's not.
As in, you just
Yeah.
have to state
So-
it before you roll for damage. So if you hit, you go, and now I'd like to add it to my damage. I think Kel's saying rather than going, I want to add to my damage, then having a
failed.
and then having a failed roll and being like, right, well, I fucked it because I
Can
didn't
you
even
wait
get
until
to
you've
hit.
made a successful roll before you say?
I need to think. I'll think
Have a
about
think
that.
about it.
I'll
Yeah.
think about that.
It was just a thought I had today. It's not like I'm rooting for one or the other. I just suddenly went, where do you have to state you want the damage
it's
bonus?
a fair question because it would suck to be like, I can't wait to do some big damage.
Yeah, I
but
think
get
probably.
to-
I think that almost functions. It kind of functions like a smite. So I think I would say you could probably call it after a hit. You could call the extra radiant damage after a hit, but the adding it to your spell save DC or adding it to your plus to hit, you have to call before because that's like I know I'm getting at least a bonus of 1. I might be getting a bonus of 3. You know, so that's kind of worth you signposting it early. Otherwise, you could just spam it and be like, "Oh, I missed. Can I add 2 to that?" And you go, I guess.
keep going until you get the number you're after.
Yeah, because I think the point
of
of it is that it's to create. Certainly, with the way in which I've intended it to function with spellcasting, is that it should create more jeopardy. It's like, oh my gosh, and I'm going to do that with it. It's a little bit like when Elwyn's like, and I'm going to action surge.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know if you're going to hit with your new attacks, but you do know you're going to use this one time.
Yeah, I have to call action search. I can't roll the attack and then be
No.
like,
Yeah.
actually, because it hit, I will action
Yeah,
search.
yeah.
Like, no, you have to call that first.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one of those two will do some damage.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got skin.
It's skin in the game
Hey.
and on the end of my knife.
A lot of drinking in this ep as well.
Yeah.
It's blowing off steam, isn't it? And also finding that stash of bottles.
Yeah.
Which we're making our way through alarmingly fast.
You are decimony friending these bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
really
actually
are.
have 4 left.
I thought you were putting your hand up to say we need to slow down.
Do you think that's very indicative of us as a group as well?
Yes.
I think it talking about like self-inserts. I think the way that we treat alcohol is the way that we would and do treat alcohol, which is 1 a night, please, or 2 a night, or however many we need. Like I don't think that we need to pass these out. I'm like, well, we'll just buy some more. I think if we want some more.
Yeah,
That's the way
like,
I mean, that's the way I deal with it. I want
quite-
some more
yeah.
wine, I buy more wine.
We're a very feast or a famine type situation.
But again, I think we're in that episode was very chaos demony kind of.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that if like.
Well, it wouldn't have been. It's just because you kept rolling
Well, yeah.
really badly.
Yeah, I rolled bad
Whole ep.
the entire other than to see your penis.
Yeah.
That's when that's when you need to see I's penis.
I think I only
And
rolled
you need
one roll, maybe 2 rolls above.
Should have
10.
said nat 20. Okay,
You
it
can
is
see it
barely
now.
visible.
On a nat 20, you
He's
can
a
find
lizard.
it.
Yeah.
He's a lizard.
So yeah, I've seen your penis.
Can he retract his penis as a lizard?
And like, is it,
Allow me to Google
is
this.
it like
Allow me to go into
wing-like
incognito
penis, or is
mode.
it like a pig's corkscrew penis, or is it like a?
This is not what I want to do on action.
know.
Well, I rolled an at 20, so we do need to know.
Well, you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Go
want
on,
to
What did you
describe
say?
it.
Go on, describe it for us.
In my mind, it's a big.
What's
Male
the-
lizards have a pair of hemipenes that are retracted and stored inside their bodies within the cloaca.
So
why was it-
Oh, it's a cloaca
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
Listen,
have a-
every now and then you just have to let it air.
We've been in the
Intern-
case.
what's
It's
a
like
cloaca?
called everyone.
Internal
Everyone
storage
can
or
fresh air.
eversion for reproduction.
Does it
During
come out?
mating,
Does it
one
come out of the
hemipenis
cloaca?
is everted by pressure, which is similar to the tissue in a human penis.
Does it go like that? Beep.
We're all learning something today.
You know, it's just I woke up and I was like, just stretching. Oh, just stretch that one. Yeah.
I hate to confirm it can prolapse, so invert prolapse may be necessary for I's penis at some point.
But again, we wouldn't know this if I hadn't rolled an at
Welcome
20.
to Rich World.
I really have. Sometimes I don't. And also, by the way, that's not me googling. That's not me googling.
That's just off the top of my head.
No. That is Wizards of the Coast lore of kobold penises. They're an unbelievable section of the player's handbook is
Madness,
dedicated
an
to
entire
it.
page.
Yeah,
Like a whole page in
there's
the book.
there's a chapter.
And there's nothing else on there.
That's what
It
Gary
says
Gygax would want.
penis and the penis and the hemipene, a
And,
story of
an
kobold
incredibly
genitalia.
detailed illustration.
Yeah, really.
I mean, is
Huge.
it
known as the beauty
Beautiful
of the
illustration.
Is
Why
it
else
pronounced
would we be
hemipene?
immersed?
That's
The
true. I mean,
colours.
they have an incredible illustration team. I mean, on the
Yeah.
new books
Oh,
that we've been seeing,
the
they're
detail.
really amazing. And let me tell you, no more is that vivid realism brought to life than in the representation of the
Beautiful
cloaca
and
here.
important.
The DPS, the double page spread.
Oh my.
Hemipene.
Means something else entirely to me, but
How is, you don't have to reveal, obviously, you guys have been talking a lot. How is Elwyn feeling about the whole, it felt like there was a kind of change of, not change of intention or change of priority, but like change of tone from Elwyn. Like, I remember in episode, was it 39, Elwyn said, if anything happens to my family, I will never forgive you, to the party. And this time you move to, if anything happens to my family, I am going to burn this entire crater. And to which Dolly went, I'll do it with you. And it felt like that's a really quite significant moment for Elwyn of going, no matter how bleak it gets, well, maybe it's not a significant moment for it felt like it could be a significant moment for Elwyn, no matter how bleak it gets, you've got a gang who are going to stick by you.
Because I think that's really what the crux of the argument ended up being at the end of episode 39 was her being alone.
Yeah.
She was alone in it.
Yeah.
And I think she'd been alone a really, really long time. And I talk a lot about that kind of when I write, is that loneliness, you know, she forgot what it's like to not essentially just be a bitch all the time.
Yeah.
So the thought of like, all right, then off you go. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're right. I guess I'm on my own, aren't I then? So that's not that important. I forgot I'm supposed to be on my own.
Right.
So then when it's like, yeah, we'll burn it down with you, like, okay, we are in this together.
Yeah.
That
Like
was
they
the-
are aligned with me, which is they don't want to see it happen either. We had different ways of getting there.
Yes.
But they understand why I would be so upset and would help me, I guess, in just finding that revenge.
That was Dolly's intention in that conversation. Like, it wasn't to persuade you one way or the other. It was just to let you know that we would be with you, or at least support you in what it was that you felt you needed to do.
So I think that was the biggest turning point, is just that accepting that she isn't alone.
Yeah.
Which I think that is hard to accept because that was essentially would have been a weakness. And that's the kind of shit that gets you killed.
Yeah.
So that's a huge kind of U-turn because up until going to bed, she wasn't alone. Like, you know, this is someone who's come from a really quite loving, quite close family.
Well, and also that the backstory, and I like that this has happened, and we've talked about it away from the table. But the backstory that originally we had for LON is a little different in my head to the backstory that we have now.
Probably.
So it was more originally that she hadn't been quite such. This was before we played, so of course these things kind of are, I think, necessary to sometimes be like, you know what, that's never come up at the table, and actually I don't know if that's useful for me, or maybe this version of it is a stronger choice. That it had been much more in my head. Let me see if I can even find it at the very beginning. I think it was something like that she'd been like kind of bodyguard work for minor, for like, she'd been kind of bodyguard work. That she had been, she wanted to see the world, and she has seen the world. And every time she's come into contact with like a member of the nobility that belongs to what her background truly is, she's like, oh my God, thank God I'm not doing that. Like, thank God I'm not attending like banquets and balls and having to put a dress on and be paraded in front of people and be married off to someone for an alliance, or even worse, be forced out of some kind of strange desire to not be that kind of parent, be forced to find someone who I genuinely love, because actually I'm not really interested in either of those things. And so it was much more, she felt before we played, happier is certainly the wrong word, but less traumatized by her time in the web. And the more it's gone on, the more violent her past has become, and the more violent her feelings towards the web have become.
Yeah. And I think it was because it was like, why would someone because the more you explore the kind of family, you talk about them, it's obviously she really loves her family. So where would that change be? You must have been through something that's just so horrendous that you almost had to detach from who you were to protect them. It must have been awful, and it's like a trauma response.
Yeah. Because I found the original, because we had a chat over Zoom.
I still have it. It's still in the folder.
I have. She's been.
I haven't read that in so long.
She's been escorting and bodyguarding, particularly for female highborn, takes real joy in seeing the life she fled being as terrible as she'd imagined.
Yeah.
That was originally the kind of version of the character that we had.
And I think annoyingly then at the table she was becoming more difficult, that wouldn't have stood up. That wouldn't have
It's not compelling enough reason to have done everything she did.
It just doesn't even make sense.
No.
Because that sounds like it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So why are you acting like this? What was genuinely, it's like the two things don't end up then meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the way she ended up going.
Yeah.
And also I do think the web is pretty fucking awful.
Yeah, I think the web is pretty
I think it's
fucking
really
awful.
quite evil.
Yes. And we got, for the first time, a sort of look into what that was like for Cal. And we had, for the first time, 41 episodes in. So what's that? About maybe, let's call it 140 hours into the story. We've watched, at this point, we've watched the extended editions of Lord of the Rings maybe 12 times. And that's when we're learning. I mean, I am Teflon when it comes to Lord of the Rings nerd. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Hail and well met.
Fed.
Just 11 and a half hours.
Something like that. I called it 12. Yeah, 11 and a half, 12. But this feels really... really significant that we're suddenly getting this insight into.
I wasn't expecting that today,
that was
no, it's okay.
No, I think it's wonderful.
It had to come out at some point, and I just wasn't going to force it. I wanted it to happen naturally, but mentally I wasn't there. So I was like,
it was lovely.
I was like, oh boy,
It was really nice.
I don't want to spoil mine. What was my favourite bit while you're all doing up your roly-polies? But I'll let other people talk about it. Like, what was really... It feels very appropriate to me. You're such a patient player, Doug. Like, you are a far more patient player than I am. In my times playing in, long campaigns, I am so desperate because I'm used to being a DM and I know all the story, I'm so desperate to get to the story as a player. I'm so desperate to, find my hook. Or my, what's the reason I'm here and what's the reason she's here and he's here. That I can kind of, something that if we ever did a real long-form campaign in which I played, I would need to really consciously rein myself in from giving too much or writing a backstory that could be too easily solved as well, because I want that feeling of like completing my journey, and then you go, oh, I ain't got anything to do. And I don't think I could sit there for 41 episodes or 40 episodes and sit on this knowledge. And it was interesting because I hope people don't mind me saying this, but we went to get some lunch, and Doug chose to stay here because we needed someone to be in the studio. We couldn't all just leave. And someone, I can't remember who it was, said to me, how much of that was a surprise for you? Like, how much you said how much of Doug's backstory was a surprise? And I went, like, none really. There was like one or two tiny little, I think I described it as finishing salt. Like there's a little bit of flaky salt that you added to a couple of little moments, but that is the stuff that we discussed 2 years ago, over 2 years ago. And the fact that you have had the temperance to just sit there and go, that's okay, is like incredible to me.
So we'll ask him about his girlfriend eventually.
Yeah, like I couldn't do that. And the fact that it's now emerged at the very beginning of what, I think is going to be a journey where Kel is more of a narrative focus. You didn't even tell people that after episode 22. No. A weaker man, such as myself, would have been all over ep 23 as Kel being like, oh, let me tell you everything that happened.
Well, and then there were the when we were first in the Kobold Caves, there was a conversation initiated by Dolly, I think it was, where a little bit more of his story came out. But I was trying to keep there's still more to tell.
Yes, there is.
But I don't know. I went into this wanting very badly to not lore dump Kel's backstory.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
It did feel today like a lore dump. I was literally talking about.
Oh my God!
It's fucking great.
I went to call you Kelda. It's so
earned.
I know. It's so
I've been so
earned.
sparing with sharing the information. Today felt like, just a purge of lore for Kelness, and I was like, oh gosh.
The last couple of episodes, Kelness has been very, very good at being quite unifying. So it felt really nice then that it sort of swung back around and everyone's now looking at Kel. Kel's telling a story.
Yeah.
You know that great bit in Saving Private Ryan where they're arguing over whether or not to kill a captured German soldier, and Tom Hanks for the entirety of the war has not told any of his men what he does for a living, and they're running a betting book on what he does for a living. And spoilers for Saving Private Ryan. In a moment of like intense crisis, he just turns around and says, "I'm a school teacher," and they all go, "Oh," and he tells them where he's from, and he tells them kind of age of the kids he teaches, and that is a super. I mean, really, in the grand scheme of things, like I say, you could watch Saving Private Ryan like 45 times. We've so earned it. You've so earned that to just suddenly, because if it had been revealed any other time, it would have been revealed and then sort of filed under deal with later. And now it's not. Now it feels tonally appropriate.
Or you would have been breadcrumbing it. Like you would have needed to set up a scenario and where it came out.
Yeah.
Because we would have needed to know it to move. And it was just like, I just kind of like, what kind of questions do we ask about laughing?
And Kel, I've kind of been breadcrumbing the most because I've needed to, like Yilda and the, kind of little bits of this and that. And obviously episode 22, and there's been kind of nods, and then the Somnium became a bigger part of Kel's backstory because I called Doug and said, "Do you think Kel's taken Somnium?" And he went, "Yeah, definitely." And we were like, "Great, so let's build that into." But there've just been these very kind of, that, oh God, what's that? I'm sounding like a massive, massive tool. What's that famous painting by Turner where he's painting a ship in a storm and there's a red buoy? Do you know the one I mean? There's like this real bright red buoy bobbing in the ocean.
I don't know.
I thought you meant a boy.
Buoy.
Buoy.
And it feels a little bit like that Kel doesn't have these great big moments of story, but he just, like, the stuff that he does is super vivid. And we get a real good sense of one thing about Kel in a real, like, primary, bold way. And then
It probably makes a lot more sense as to why he doesn't use the totem, the little thing on.
Yeah, never use it because it's like fuck that.
Because also it was like your prisoner. It lied to you for a long period of time. I think it's a really fascinating thing. So like you didn't know what you looked like when you were a kid because you were completely covered, and that is a crazy. I just think it's a crazy bit of lore to think that. Of course, you thought you were Alf because you looked like one.
Yeah.
And then to see what you really look like is.
In that sort of shocking way.
Yeah. And that idea of you rejecting or not really knowing who you are for such a long period of time, I thought it's an interesting take. But then you literally not looking like you were, that thing almost being a prison to you, I think is a fascinating thing to look at and certainly something I didn't realise.
There was a moment where I thought that was where it was going to go, and I still think it can because I was like, oh my God, that's such an exciting connection that hadn't occurred to me, is that both Kel and Radian, their childhoods, you can't remember your past, although you're starting to get some kind of feelings. It's both like a lie. It's both I'm not who I think I am. I was lied to about who I am and what my role is, and Radian is probably the equivalent in human years of about, what do you reckon Radian's age would be if you were to put a human age on him?
Don't know. I mean, that's it. It's like I don't think he knows how old he is.
Right.
He feels like, I mean, he feels like he's in his mid-20s in that feeling of like just pushing into the dark, being the oldest you've ever been, but also quite stupid.
You know that thing that they've discovered that is it men or is it everyone that like adolescence in males lasts until the early to mid-20s, they think, in terms of when you're...
Frontal lobe developing, that's everyone.
Is that everyone? Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure. I saw it in relation to, men in particular doing pretty dumb stuff in their early 20s. But, that Radian is just about tying in any other situation would just about be tying the loose ends on who he is as a person, but actually he's got his loose ends.
Yeah.
And Kel might have been a little younger, but still in that kind of late adolescent, early adulthood. Who am I? Am I a leader or am I a follower? Kind of. That's such interesting moments that's both when your consciousness is sort of immersed in terms of who you might really be.
I mean, maybe am I being really, really stupid in thinking that this is the first time that we've known that about him, that he was hidden under the cloak of that?
No, that is the first.
It's the first time.
You knew that he was raised by elves.
Yeah, but
it's
crazy because of the lore implications of it all. That's why you were hidden for so long. That's like the reason people were after your parents and the fact that like you were protected in that way. But
and why
also
you didn't turn heads because you were that gold.
Crazy. Everything kind of makes sense. I just thought, you just kind of raised in Laffy and blah 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 blah. But everything is both. You've answered loads of questions and asked even more.
Yeah,
which I think is really cool.
Do you know what I really, really suddenly was struck by? It never even occurred to me. Kel would know what Kel looks like as an elf. Because Kel would have lived most of his life looking like a wood elf that's growing up. And he must be able to be like, oh yeah, I was this tall and this was my hair and this was my...
This was the thing that I was going to do and I didn't, and maybe I'll save it for down the line, is ask him to...
It's exactly what I would have done at the table. I was like, I'm so. It's one of the few times I'm gutted I haven't had a DMPC at the table.
I'm going to save it for down the line.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was I was thinking, like, what is the moment? But us behind the tree, I was going to ask you to do that. Then I thought, no, you know what? Let's leave it for later. And but I think that's such a fascinating thing because you don't have control over that thing, but you certainly know what you look like when it comes to being an elf. That's crazy.
It was interesting because I wasn't expecting it. I was trying desperately to remember more of the details of what you and I had talked about.
We can talk about it.
Because I didn't want to get it wrong. And I didn't get anything wrong, but I left some important stuff out that I think will have to come out at another time.
I think we should put our heads together before the next one anyway to just...
Yeah.
It's so good. I think it was such a beautiful thing to listen to because it felt like I was watching a Netflix show and they're going coming this season and it felt like it was the foreshadowing of everything we can expect in Lathy.
Yeah.
You talking about the trees wanting to pick people up. I thought it was ace.
Yeah, it was great.
And all of this stuff, that it felt like we could almost exist in this space before we get to Lathy because we knew what we were going to expect in the coming episodes. Saying, let's exist in this space here. We don't need to get to the exciting part yet. We can digest this, explore this because we've got that tease. And if you've invested this far, then you're probably going to keep going with us. But it was a really lovely thing to do, but at the same time as being character development. And I think it's all coming home episodes. or coming home storylines can be very difficult because obviously it's so involved with the history that you have, but in doing so, it also means that we have some familiarity with the space. And
Yes.
I'm very excited because there's also plot reasons for us being there.
I like the thing. I mean, I've said this to you guys before, but I am a big fan of, and we had it in Barun with Dolly and with Kel, and I think with Elowyn a little, but particularly with Dolly and Kel, where it's like, you know the city, and I have learned from home games that it isn't always that fun as a player to be dropped at the gates of a huge city and not know anything about it. Because as a DM, I'm like, that's so exciting. Well done me. I've built a whole city full of things for them to do, and all they need to do is go in the taverns and ask the right questions. And it's like, yeah, but actually that's quite stressful sometimes as a player. You're just like, oh, I would love to know the kind of vague area in which I would travel, and it would be great if I knew a tavern keeper. And so I like that, particularly because Lathy is, and Doug and I have talked about it a tiny bit, but my idea of how Lathy works is so idiosyncratic and really quite oblique that to have someone who could be like, I know this is very strange, but this is how it might turn out, is a really useful, it stops me having to have a DMPC there. It stops me having to get, you guys having to like recruit a ranger in Taliska who can show you around Lathy, because how boring is that at level 8? Do you know what I mean? Like maybe at level 3 you've got a Morgan, but you don't want your hand being held at this point. Or anyone who's with you has got to be able to augment you but not lead you. And it means that Kel can take the lead as we emerge into like his own story. Which is
How did you feel about me describing the way the trees walk? Because as I was doing it, I was like, I hope I'm not stepping on Harry's toes, because he may have a whole completely different idea about how this functions.
I don't see Lathy, I've never seen Lathy as a load of Ents walking almost in a herd, or that every tree is, you know, you know, that's not how I see it. The idea of Lathy, or what became Lathy, I came up with in 2022 when my wife and I went on honeymoon to Costa Rica, and there are trees there that move, so they detach their roots and send more roots and then replant themselves. And it happens very slowly, but they will move through a forest. And I just thought that was the most magical thing I'd ever heard about happening in the real world. And if you could then do a magical version of that, how wonderful.
How amazing
would
then
it
that
be?
I basically described exactly that.
Yeah. So you didn't step on it any
my
toes.
brain.
And also in a sense, you know, if you suddenly said, and of course I had 3 brothers, I'd be like,
More brothers?
okay, like that's real. That's trickier for me. But these are sort of your toes as much as they're my toes. You know, it's up to you and I not to get in each other's way. We're kind of dancing together, honey. Is how I see it when we're kind of yeah. But it's like something that Aoife and I did a lot with the Nox stuff and the Dolly backstory, where you're sort of sussing each other out and going like, I think I'm saying a thing, and we're going with the thing, and okay, that's the thing. That's how it worked. And you can sometimes do that at the table, and it's a great example of it, I think. No, I loved what you did. Finally, last thing, how is Radiant feeling about the death of Carl? Because it's really fun. Like alcohol, the idea that alcohol makes you kind of more of whatever you are than you know. Can I tell you my read on it, and you tell me, you know. Or you don't have to tell me. I think he seems actually quite a little more cut up than he's acknowledging when sober, but not quite as cut up as he appears when drunk.
Yeah, I think that he's clearly cut up about it. The cut between I don't give a fuck about Carl to utterly devastated about Carl, the truth lies somewhere in the middle, because one is a defense mechanism and one is an overcompensation.
It's also not all about the mayonnaise. Like,
it's got nothing to do with Carl,
No.
but it has everything to do with about the act itself. And I think it's just there's a lot of like everything about Radiant is undiagnosed trauma, really, and it's just a lot of acting out. And I love that the dice have decided that he cannot take alcohol.
He can't take wine at all.
Can't take wine.
I would love it if he started trying to drink something else and found he could really handle that.
Yeah.
It would be amazing if it
Yeah.
turns out he's a really good gin drinker.
Because also the story,
It's only-
Mother's ruin.
It's only Bailey.
the story
Just me.
was intent on it being Radiant's pissed and everyone else isn't just like fine drunk. They're just sober.
Yeah.
So because it's only been a couple of sips. So it's
Yeah.
really bad. It's like he's the most annoying person at a party, and I'm really glad that you made him not drunk for a bit, because I find him annoying. And it's just, that's the person. What happens when you've got all these emotions and no control over it, and clearly don't drink that much alcohol. It's not a great look, but also I like, it's fun. It's just stupid, isn't it?
It's the most I've ever felt sorry for him when he was being blamed for all the turkey going, because Kel ate the sandwiches too, and Kel suggested the sandwiches. Yeah. And I understood that it was being suggested that but there is no evidence that anyone else ate a sandwich or drunk any wine. It's like Radiant unilaterally opened wine and ate all the turkey, and that isn't how it happened. And I'm sat here.
told happened.
I know, but absolutely, and I'm outraged on his behalf.
Can I ask? Had we gone after the wolf, were there many wolves?
One wolf.
One wolf.
Would have
okay.
been fine.
I know.
You know what I was trying to give you the opportunity to do?
What?
Can I tell you what I was trying to do?
Yeah.
You said, we need a name. And so I gave you a wolf howl to see if you wanted to take Wolfpack for which is what Ben and I call ourselves, the Wolfpack.
Or the
Keepers of the Cream.
I hate this. I
And
hate it.
I just
Such a
thought
visceral reaction to it.
I thought that was the biggest act of love I've ever committed at a table.
Yeah. I really
Strong
enjoyed
sentence.
it. It was the classic, because we've done this again. We went shopping. When we went shopping for the bracelets.
The two of you.
Yeah.
It's just like, fucking hell, he's an absolute nightmare.
White girl wasted.
Yeah. Like, bottomless brunch. Someone went too far, now they're in the bush.
Yeah.
But also a sad thing where I was like, none of you are wearing them anymore.
That was that I did find genuinely quite sad. And he was like,
But
none
you
of you
don't
are
know that for sure.
None of you are wearing them. And Kel goes, I don't even know
Also,
where
they
mine
were-
is.
they were
Prove it.
bracelets.
Charms. You gave me an octopus charm,
They were
actually.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah, the little...
you're telling me there is no string, no chain, nothing available
Ice
that
is in
could
the
be.
bag of holding.
Oh, Christ, everything else.
Fantastic.
I don't think that makes it special.
Like all meaningful things hidden away in an endless pit
He
of
says after
everything.
an episode in which he goes and he just pulls out something.
It's that random
something,
shit.
something.
There was a dead
Roll
cleric in there for ages. All this wine around
Oh
this
my
dead
God.
body.
Take a left of a dead cleric.
You gotta air this thing like that.
Opening it
just
up
like
so that you
running
can.
around with
I don't
it
know if I
running
feel
through
good about putting the turkey in it quite yet, guys.
There was a moment when he was pulling out stuff, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I just said, and he pulls out one of Parvis's shoes.
Oh my
Funny.
Wouldn't it be funny?
I know, that's why I didn't say it.
Should we roll you some polies?
No, first.
go on.
Are we not just referencing
Are we not
Gonzo
talking
Jordan
about the
over
sending
here?
stone at all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, guns out, Jordan. And then
We
we'll
tried
do
a new number who dis on the spinner and
Oh,
no
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
responded.
Yeah.
That was the 5 I was thinking
He might
of.
get back
Not
to
for the
us.
drum. You rolled a 5 on that.
He might get back to us, because he doesn't get that. I didn't expect him to get back straight away.
He's not got that many messages coming in at the moment.
I need to fucking
Not
spam
many
him every night.
friends.
I want to spam him every night and be like, all right,
Demonetized.
We can't antagonize a god of
we
death.
have to bleep
I
that
think
out.
we've done,
I think we've already done
pretty
that.
much antagonized him.
We'll leave that out, Sam.
Fine.
Sticking
Yeah.
it as
So
No,
was,
it's fun.
was the no answer then because of the 5
Well,
when
no,
you were
the-
like, no children, you are not having any.
No, the 5 wasn't to. It was to tell whether.
He was there.
Yeah, but the sendings was like I've not had to roll with them before.
No, that's true actually, yeah. Because you don't. They're not,
It was just
they're
to
not
get
a
a
thing, are they?
get a sense of like because
Then what was the
you
difference?
can tell with sending stone. I'm not making that up, right? You can always tell if they're connected to another sending stone.
It doesn't say that. Well, so I can bring up. So I was actually looking at the. I was looking at the rules for sending across multiple planes of existence,
Which we know is fine.
which we know is normally fine.
But this is Harry's world, so don't write
Yeah,
yourself
so
in.
so don't.
Can you stop?
Can you stop? I've just typed spells. I meant to type sending. But yeah, you send a short message of 25 miles or fewer to a creature. You can send the message across any distance and even to other planes of existence. But if the target's on a different plane than you,
Bad signal.
well,
You can make calls at Everest Base Camp. That's all I'm saying.
yes.
Well, then we're just gonna have to try again.
But let me see if it's. I think in sending stones, I think it says you know whether or not the message has been received.
That's annoying. Like a sentence, it'll leave your
Yeah,
red.
yeah. It's been left on red.
Afon, you know if the delivery fails. It says. So essentially, that's what you know.
Okay.
Hasn't been returned to sender.
So we didn't get a
Yeah.
message failed to send.
You did not.
Yeah.
It did. You, as far as you're aware, it did not
He is just
fail.
Yeah, no,
Well, I mean, he's probably got other things on his plate other than just
No,
being.
you can answer.
Are we allowed to say the C word on here?
No.
Well, you've already done it now.
He said it again. I just need everyone to say he said it again.
Oh God, another bleep. This is wild.
More work for Sam.
And now, shall we talk about Guns Jordan getting his guns out?
It's
Yeah.
very warm in here.
It is now.
It's fucking
It
warm.
is now.
Yeah.
Some of us
When
are
we've got his guns out.
Some of us are still wearing Alex. Put them away. It's unedifying.
Yeah.
Alex, I'm serious.
They're illegal.
Put it away.
Guns are
It's
illegal in the United
unedifying.
Kingdom.
Usually we'd film something in between. I have the AC on while I'm filming. We just literally came straight back in.
Struggling.
So warm.
So my favourite bit, which was quite clearly what Kel did. Doug, I think, has when Doug has a speed, and everyone is very talented, but I am particularly fond of gentle, story, reflective Doug Cockle. I think you are exceptionally good at that. And I love being at the table while Doug does that. And so that was my favourite bit, not only of this episode, but it's right up there for my favourite bit of most episodes, to be honest. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So well done, Doug. You're marvellous.
Well done, Doug.
You're our favourite. Well done, Doug.
Another
All in
future clip.
service of a beautiful
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, all in service of a beautiful story. So how did everybody do?
I'll go first. 80.
80. Very nice.
Just to get it out of the way, because I don't want to
Yeah.
like it's such a mid score.
It is, yeah.
113.
121.
Okay. Go on. Ooh.
No, mine isn't good. I'm just
What is it then?
99.
99?
Red balloons go by.
133.
Oh, god damn, Doug.
Good
I thought I had that
Good
one.
day.
Is that one of the
Doug.
highest collective scores we've ever
Bangers.
had?
Do you want to know a secret?
What?
I roly de poly.
And?
I don't know. Should I tell you?
Yeah.
Start adding it now.
110.
Yay! Wait, because this will be the start of a new roly-poly season as well. So you should
Well,
join
you
us.
in.
Yes,
You've
you're
been
in
out-
now.
you've been-
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel
Why?
like I'm a sort of distant invigilator. Also, at some point, I'll have more complicated maths than that, and I'll go all quiet while everyone else is going all quiet.
Why would we have
I
compliments?
love the way Aoife's packing away as though we're not coming
Aoife's
back
ready.
tomorrow morning.
Aoife's ready to finish, everybody.
That's
so
because we've got
Just
a
like touching
we've got
my
a
donut.
table booked at the pub.
Aoife's a bit warm and she wants to go to the pub.
I do. I really do.
And are you going to take your pink donut to the pub?
No.
Okay, well, pop it down then.
It's so pretty.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I'm very glad
I
you
wait
brought
for the
that
bell, and so will you.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us on this episode of Action Surge. We will be back next week playing more, chatting more, rolling more dice, and seeing you for more adventures in the world
Oh,
of religion.
and Merch Drop 3 goes live 4 p.m. on November 7th, please.
4 p.m. November 7th.
Get
No,
on.
it's not fine.
Bye everybody, D&D baby.
Hey!
Don't know why I bother.
Pop.
Wait.
Oh, thank you.
I got 61 on that roly poly.
You got what?
Nothing.
You